Hey, what's going on, Gravestone Guardians? It is a muggy night here in Bellingham, Massachusetts, but uh, we spent the last 3 days in upstate New York working on headstones in 3 different cemeteries. And do you think I got one video to show you? Absolutely not. So tonight, I want to come out and show you a little bit about how we clean, right? A lot of you have asked, like, gee, it would be nice to see from the beginning to the end with no edits. And so we're going to do that for those that want to stick around. And for those of you that have a short attention span, well, feel free to move on to the next one and catch us on the next video that we put out there. So I've already pre-wet this stone and let it soak for about 15 minutes because it's got some lichen on there, okay? I know that there are some of you that say, use a brush and it'll come right off. And that is a true statement. However, you spend 10 minutes cleaning out your brush after you've, scrubbed all the lichen off the stone. So again, plastic scraper, no metal, from Home Depot. This one actually has been tore up by stones. So it's so soft in terms of being a plastic that the stone, barely touching it, it wears the edge off. So again, I'm not doing anything hard here. I am just gently lifting off this lichen to try and save myself some grief later as I clean. I don't even know who this is. That's the best part. The other thing that I also did is I made sure that the stone was stable. Right, you give her a good wiggle. She's real solid, and I'm assuming it's a she because I think her husband is next door here. His has a base that has slid off its foundation, and so we're going to have to work on getting him repaired at a future opportunity. But in the meantime, I'm just gently, you see I'm not using hard strokes, I am just letting it glide over the top to make it a little bit easier for the lichen to be removed from the surface. All right, so now that I've done that, I'm going to grab my brush. I use a synthetic brush. It's pretty soft. A lot of other folks like the Tampico brushes. Those are totally fine too. I just like this because it has just a little bit more stiffness than the Tampico. And on a good stone like this, it helps remove a little bit more than if you were using the soft brush. So totally fine. All right. The other thing, I'm going to turn on my garden sprayer, is battery operated. No, Mom, I'm not using a power washer. What you hear is the battery operated garden sprayer. About 45 psi, does not do any damage to the stone at all. So I'm going to go ahead and wet this down a little bit and scrub and then continue on. So again, keep your stone wet as you work it, right? It just makes things a lot better. Less friction on the face of the stone. And again, I checked the stone to make sure there was no sugaring, there was no deterioration, no cracks, anything that would cause me concern. And then again, keep your brush. You want to keep it wet and you want to keep it clean, right? I see a lot of people that will scrub for 10 minutes and their brush is absolutely filthy and all they've been doing is pushing the dirt around. So I go ahead and get it wet, get it prepped, and then I'm just going to scrub. Again, I'm not scrubbing hard. I am just scrubbing enough to be able to get the dirt and the lichen off. Okay. I like to go back and forth, different patterns. If the stone is really soft, right, you could end up, you don't have to scrub for 10 minutes. I had someone the other day, I told her, I probably clean a stone in about 5 minutes. And she couldn't believe it. She's like, 5 minutes? Are you serious? She was like, I spend a long time. And I'm like, I know. And she gets in there with a little fine brush and she tries to get all the little nooks and the crannies. And honestly, while that is a wonderful thing to do, it's really not necessary because when we're all done here, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of D2 on the stone, and that will get all the nooks and the crannies. So not only is it going to do the work for me, but it will also preserve the stone a little better because I don't have to scrub as much, and that will preserve it for even longer. So as you can see, I'm pretty much done. Okay, get the base, and I've already done the back. I will get the sides after the video. Okay, there you go. You see, my brush is really dirty. So I like to rinse my brush, right? You're going to see all the dirt and the gook and the lichen from running out of that stone, or out of the brush, sorry. Okay. So keep a clean brush. It makes a lot of sense. Keeps you from moving the dirt and scrubbing it into the stone. So there you go. All right. Now the other thing, folks, this is not AI. This is what we do every time in every one of our cleaning videos. We simply start at the top and we work our way down. And as you can see, this is where the absolute magic occurs. All the stuff that people are absolutely convinced is AI because it looks so mesmerizing and so amazing, that is just the dirt and the grime and the patina. That's what we hear a lot of is, oh, I wish you wouldn't get rid of all this patina. It just makes the stone look so old-timey and beautiful. And while I don't disagree with that, I would tell you that that patina is actually causing more damage than good, even though it might look nostalgic and nice, because as that patina hardens and sets on the surface of the stone and into the pores, it's going to trap moisture and dirt and pollutants and biological growth. And if you are trapping the moisture, then you're going to create more issues. On this one, you see how dirty she is in those letters, and it looks like this is M. Emma, and it looks like she is the wife of William Wells. So that's what I can see. I couldn't tell that before. Looks like she died in 1887. And so I'm going to do a little more research on this family, but this is what we do. And then the only other thing we're going to do to finish off this effort for the evening is we're going to apply some of that D2. I also use Endurance, the Monument and Gravestone Cleaner. There are others out there, but boy, I got to tell you, it is a contentious community when it comes to headstone cleaners, right? The quaternary ammonium compounds. Oh my gosh, people, there are some real passionate people out there who are just absolutely insistent that there are only one or two things that you should ever use and never anything else. Um, and I just hate the controversy. And so we just give you the two basics. There are others out there. If you want to know what they are, feel free to contact us privately. Can't stand it when Facebook blows up and everybody goes nuts because you mentioned some of the other ones. But they're all just as good and they can do the same kind of a job. So in this case, again, we use a little hand pump. It's just a lot easier than the quart spray. And then we just give it a nice light spray. Don't need much, okay? And that's all I'm going to do. And I will let that sit for a couple weeks, and we will revisit her in a couple weeks, and we'll show you the after results. That's our cleaning process, start to finish. Thanks for watching tonight. Take care.